manage books index. Alright, so we just have an extra curly brace right here. Just get rid of that. Cool. So the next thing we want to do is to be able to edit these books. Alright, so if we click edit, it's going to take us to manage books, edit, and then the ID. So let's go ahead and create a route for that. So we need to go back to the manage controller. And we first need to be able to just display the form. So I'm going to go ahead and paste this in. So we have a route that's going to books, edit, and then the ID. We're basically repeating, this is basically the same as, let's see, as the add form right here. Alright, the only difference is we're adding in this book.find1. Alright, and we want to put underscore ID and then request.params.id, and that's going to grab the ID from the URL, and then it's going to give us this book variable to work with. Alright, and then we're creating the model variable with book and categories. Alright, so it's getting the current book and it's also getting the categories to fill in the select box. Alright, and then we're going to render the manage books edit template. Okay, so we need to create that. So template, oh, we have it already created. We have the file. So I'm going to paste this in. Pretty much the same as the add form, except we're changing the action to go to the edit, and then for each field we're adding a value and then just having our curly braces with book dot and then the name of the variable. So that's pretty much the same. So we can save that. Okay, now we're displaying the form and stuff, but we're not actually handling the post from an edit, so we need to do that. So I'm going to paste this in. Okay, so we're doing a post to edit ID. Same thing as the add form, we're just grabbing the fields. Instead of creating a new book like we did up here, we said new book. We are saying book.update, and you want to pass in the ID as the first parameter, and then the next one you want all the things that you want to update. Alright, and then we have the function here, and then we're just going to say success book updated and redirect. Okay, pretty simple. So let's try and edit a book. Okay, so let's reload and let's say edit. Okay, you can see that it's filled in all the fields for us. So let's go ahead and just change the price. And I think that should do it. Let's just, well, we'll do a test here just to make sure the title can change. Submit, book updated, and you can see now it has the title. If we click edit, the price is also updated. So let me get rid of that. Now I want these alert messages to be somewhat styled, so I just have a little bit of CSS that I want to paste in, and it's going to go in templates. No, it's going to go in public CSS style CSS. Alright, so I'm going to paste this in. Basically, we're taking the ULs with the class of error, info, and success, adding all our margin and padding and stuff. Then we're taking each individual type and adding the certain colors and background colors. Okay, so if we save that and then we try to edit something and submit, you can see now it looks a lot better. Okay, so the next thing we want to do with books is to be able to delete them. Alright, now as I said before, this is going to be a little different. We need to actually, we're going to use jQuery to make an AJAX request. Alright. But before we do that, we need to make sure we have some kind of route. So we want to go to manage.js, and I'm going to paste this in. Okay, it's pretty short. Please remember to do .delete here, and don't do get or post. Make sure we make a delete request, and it's going to go to book/delete/id, and then we're going to call book.remove, pass in the ID for the first parameter, and then the second will be a function. All right, and then we're just going to set a flash message and redirect. Okay, now for the actual code to post the delete, we need to go to the custom JavaScript, which is in public.js and then main.js. All right, so we're going to say document, and this is going to be, we need to go through this code after the document is loaded. So document.ready, and then in the ready function we're going to post another function. All right, and then what do we want to do? We want to grab the link. Okay, so, and the link is right here, the delete button. So basically I want to, you can see that there's a class of remove book. Okay, so that's how we can actually grab it. All right, so we want to say jQuery, and it's going to be the class remove book. All right, now what do we want to do? We want to set a click event so that when we delete, we make an AJAX request. So we're going to say remove book dot click. All right, and inside here we need a function, and this will take an event variable right here. All right, and then we need to grab the delete ID, and I don't think we did this in the template yet. So if we go to the, what is it, the index.dust, yeah. So basically where we have the delete link, we want to create another attribute. All right, so let's call this, it's going to be a data attribute. So we'll say data-id, and then we want to set that equal to the book ID, which is right here. We can get it. Okay, so we want data ID to equal the ID. All right, so since we did that, now we will be able to access that in jQuery, and we can do that. We'll set a variable delete ID, and we're going to set it to this dot data, and then we're going to pass in ID. All right, so basically this means the link that we're clicking on, the current object, and then data is a way we can access the data ID attribute. All right, you just want to pass in ID. You don't want to pass in the whole thing like this, just data, the function data, and ID as a parameter. Okay, so now that we have that, we can make an AJAX call. All right, so we can do this with the AJAX method. There's a lot of different ways to do it. I prefer this way. And then we want to pass in, let's see, the URL. Okay, the URL should include the delete ID. So that should be /manage/books/delete/ and then we're going to concatenate on the delete ID. All right, so that's the URL that we want to make the request to. The type of request that we want to make is going to be a delete. All right, and then finally we want success and function. All right, we don't really need to do anything afterwards. We just want to get it deleted. And then down here we're going to redirect. So right after the AJAX call, we're going to say window.location is equal to /manage/books. All right, so that looks good. Let's save that. So hopefully this works. Let's go ahead and reload the server. All right, and go to books, and then let's try and actually, you know what? Let's add a book first, because I want to keep the ones that we have. So test, and then price, we'll say 20, submit. Okay, so now we have this test book. Let's go ahead and delete, and there we go. Now the message actually didn't show, and it looks like I have this going to events, which is very wrong. we want to go to manage/books. Alright, so we'll save that and let's try again. So books, I'm going to just add a book to delete. So name and price it should have. Submit, and now let's try and delete. Alright, so now we get the message and it actually stays there. So CRUD, create, read, update, and delete is now working on books. So next we need to do that with categories, which is going to be pretty much the exact same thing. So I'm going to just paste in all this stuff instead of typing it out, just because we just went over it. So to add a new category, let's go to manage.js, which we're in, and then down here we want to go after the delete and paste this in, and we're just doing a post to /categories. We're just getting the name, and we're checking for the name. Then we're going to create a new category, and we're going to set name to name, and then we're going to call new category.save, just like we did with the books, and then redirect. Alright, so that's the functioning for the categories form. Now we need to just get the form to display it, and that's actually extremely simple. Okay, we're just making a get request to categories add, and then we're rendering the template. We're not dealing with any models or anything. Okay, so that should now work. Okay, so if we go to categories and add category, oh, we didn't create the form. So we need to go to public, templates, and create a new folder called categories. Alright. Oh, I'm sorry, we don't want that. We want manage categories, which we already have the files. We just need to create the add form. Okay, so we'll post this in, paste this in, and it's just a form going to manage/categories, and it has a name, button, and then this CSRF check. So if we save that and go to categories and then add category, let's add one called MongoDB. And there we go. So categories added. Now we want to be able to edit. So let's add the route for that in manage.js. So I'm going to paste in two things. This one is to just show the form. It's just a get request. We're doing category.find1 because we need to fill the values because it's an edit form. And then we're just going to load the template. Alright, so this one here is a post. So this is when the edit form is submitted. It's going to run a check on the name and then call category.update, pass in the ID, and all we're updating is the name. Alright, and then we're just redirecting. Okay, so we'll save that, and then we need to create the edit form view. Okay, so this is just like the add form, except it has a value for the name, and it's also going to manage categories edit. So save that, and we should be able to now edit categories. Okay, so let's see. MongoDB, let's just change it to Mongo. And there we go, category updated. Okay, so last thing is delete. And back in the main.js where we did our jQuery, we can actually copy this whole thing. And we want to change this here, this class, to remove category. And let's see, delete ID, Ajax, we're going to go to manage/categories delete. And then we're going to redirect to manage categories. Okay, so that's it for that. Let's make sure that we have the link the class remove category. So we need to go to our category, manage categories index, and then down here, okay, it looks like we do have it, so that's good. Alright, last thing we need to do is just create the delete route. Okay, so we'll paste this in. Same thing as the book, so we're just calling router.delete. Make sure it goes to categories delete and then the ID, and that's it. So we'll save that. Okay, reload categories, and let me just add test category and then delete, which didn't work. What did I forget? Oh, we put the delete route in the main.js file, and it shouldn't be. That should be in manage.js. Okay. And the reason I'm going through this categories this fast is because it's basically the same exact thing as books. Okay, so we should be able to delete, and it says deleted, but it is still there. What's this? Cast to object ID failed. Undefined path underscore. Oh, we didn't include the delete attribute, the ID attribute. So we need to go back to the template manage categories index, and we just need to include what was it? An ID, right? No, data ID. Data ID is going to equal dot underscore ID. I think. Yeah. Alright, because it just didn't know which one to grab. So now, test delete. Let me just check this out. Data ID. It's weird. It's like it's not clicking the event. Remove category, click. Delete ID equals this data ID. I'm not getting any kind of error. Alright, category added. Whoa. Oh, that was for the other thing. Why won't this? I don't understand. Alright, I'm going to do a little bit of debugging, and I will be back. Oh, guys, I put the data ID attribute inside of the class attribute. Sorry about that. So this should be outside like this. Okay, so let's try it again. Okay, category, delete. Category deleted. Oh, I had an alert there just to debug. Let me get rid of that. Okay, delete, and there we go. Alright, so we have complete CRUD on books and categories. Okay, the only thing we have left to do for this project is set up our cart. Okay, so we'll do that next.